Welcome back, everybody. You're looking at the NSIC women's basketball bracket. The tournament resumes tomorrow in Sioux Falls. You see the Dragons will play tomorrow at 1:30 against second-seeded Southwest State. One seed is Concordia St. Paul. They've got St. Cloud State. University of Mary is back in Sioux Falls. The Marauders will take on the reigning national champions from Mankato. That game's on Sunday at 1:30. This date has been reserved for our next guest. I think we've done this like 3 years running, and I'm a little disappointed he's not on the bus to Sioux Falls. UMary women's basketball coach Rick Neumann joins us. You're leaving. Are you leaving later today or tomorrow? When are you leaving?
We are leaving later today here.
Okay.
We're actually, I took a quick break from practice, right? Like, I'm probably the only coach in the country that's just like the players. At this point, I just want to play games, right? So I was like, oh, we're practicing at 10. You want to talk at 10:30? Perfect. I'm in, right?
Boom.
So the staff is running the show for the next 10 minutes, and we'll get back out there. And, who knows? They probably put in flax while I'm gone, but we'll figure it out.
It's great to see you, bud. Congratulations on the win on Wednesday. Your reward is the national champs. I know you're excited to get back to Sioux Falls, but tell me the challenge you got awaiting you on Sunday.
Well, you're right. I mean, it's a tremendous challenge. They are, have been really good the last 3 or 4 years. They play such a unique style with full court pressure all game long. So that'll be a challenge. And for us, it's honestly, Dom, I feel really confident in saying this. It's the last. We always want to win more, and we can, and we're working towards that. But as we've changed our recruiting philosophy the last few years, we thought we need to do a few things to get to the top of this league because we have the resources to do it, and it's my job to get us there. And so we tried to get a lot more athletic on the perimeter with the idea of catching the Duluths and Mankato's and, vanquishing Duluth 2 years in a row in the tournament. Now, we beat them 5 times in a row. I feel like we kind of checked that box that we're on the same level as them. But there's one team left, and I don't know, something about it. I mean, the Lord works in mysterious ways, but this is a cruel joke. We play Mankato every year down there, right? And we're like 0 for our last 5. So they've eliminated us. So it'd be a great time for us to go down and get them and really legitimize our attempts to climb to the top 2 or 3 in this league.
You just played them a couple weeks ago. Is that a thing? Can you use that, or is it doesn't matter now that it's postseason?
Well, I think things do change in the postseason. We always talk about you build momentum within the tournament, not necessarily going into it, right? And for us to have a chance to play Wednesday night, I think, and get all of our young kids, get some of those jitters out. I do think that could be helpful on Sunday to have a couple of days to prepare for them again, because, the first time we played them after Christmas, we had a whole week. We played them on Friday. So we were able to really put us in the blender and really expose all the different ways that they're going to press. And we came out that Friday night at home in early January, and we had them on the ropes. We were ahead under 3 minutes to go, and then their 2 best kids just made a couple of 2 best kids type of plays. And then kind of the reverse happened 2 weeks ago. We had a must-win game at Winona on a Friday night, so we put all our, we're towards the end of the year. My freshmen and sophomores, they're kind of hitting that wall. So we put it's the longest road trip of the year, right? So we put all our chips into beating Winona, and we did. And then the next day at Mankato, I take full responsibility for that. We just threw them to the wolves and said, hey, remember all the good things we did a month ago? Let's do those. And we did not do those things. We scored the ball really well. So I say this down. We need to combine the 2 games we've played them. The first time we took care of the ball, turned them over, got stops, and had a great game. Second game, we scored the ball incredibly well, but we didn't guard, and we had too many live ball turnovers. So I do think that at least there's some belief in our girls because we have played them well. They are 10-6 in road games or neutral site games. So I think there's definitely some positive vibes and some feeling good about what we can do on Sunday.
Yesterday, the all NSIC teams came out. Bergen Kinnebrew was selected all NSIC first team, which is awfully impressive for anybody that's got to see her play at Century as I did. She's a heck of a player. To lead your team in scoring, was that beyond your expectations for what she's done as a sophomore?
I don't think so, to be honest with you. I mean, as soon as we left the Pentagon last year, remember in that opening round game, she came off the bench and was just nails against St. Cloud State, missed one shot, scored a career high 15 points, was really good the rest of the tournament. And when we were coming home, I was like, Bergen, if you're ready for it, you're going to be our preseason player to watch next year. We're going to hang our hat on you, and you're going to elevate your game to the point of what you've done. And she was like, yep, that's what I want to do. So we're extremely happy with her. Only the second sophomore in our program history to be named first team all conference. Gabby Bull from Minot was the other young lady,
right.
and she ended up with a pretty good
She was pretty good.
Yeah, a couple-time All-American. Yeah, she was all right. And then another thing I'm really proud of is that's the 8th straight year that we've had a first-team all-conference player, and that's the second longest streak in the league. So, we've had a really good run of really good players. These last few years, we've had some really good teams, but we've still got some more work to do because we want to bang down the door on that NCAA tournament, and we want to play for an NSIC championship again, and we want to win one.
I know you and I have talked often on recruiting. Your 4 leading scorers are all from the state of North Dakota. Describe that and how proud you are of that we're going to find the best talent and they're going to go to Bismarck.
Well, thanks. I'm glad you recognize that because that is real important. I'm a North Dakota guy, small town Class B, North Dakota. Really proud to be the only North Dakota guy coaching a 4-year school here. It makes that connection, I think, to our community that much more valuable. We get great crowd support for it. You're walking around in the mall, you're going to church on Sundays, and people are talking about the local kids, the North Dakota kids that are playing on your roster. I mean, I think we got 7 of our 13 are from North Dakota. And so we definitely want to pursue the best players in North Dakota because when our best kids are from North Dakota, that's when we've had our best teams. And that goes back, the entirety of my time as an assistant and a head coach here. So it's always going to be a priority for ours. We're very fortunate that our state produces such really good basketball on the girls' side, guys too, but on the girls' side. And a lot of times those young ladies, in the upper Midwest, wherever at, they have there's just a little more at stake in their decision-making process. Guys will go wherever they can go to play, right? And young ladies just seem to be a little bit more grounded in, academics, real important. We have a very female-friendly campus when it comes to academic majors, a lot of health science majors these days. That's the best majors we offer. And just being close to home, having that opportunity for mom and dad and grandpa and grandma to see you play on a regular basis, I think that appeals to these ladies, and we've been fortunate to grab them, and we're always going to continue to try to do that.
You have a Fridley on your roster, so I have to imagine, is Fred right behind the bench helping you during games this season? How's that gone?
Maybe that's where I should tell him to sit because he kind of sits upper level, right? Upper level in the midsection across. And every now and then my eyes running back across in a transition will catch a reaction from him or something. But, that's a great story, too, just in of its own, right? Because when Eden was, I was at their house meeting Eden when she was a baby, right? And Eden has been friends with my daughters, like growing up. And it's been great. And, Fred and I stayed close even after he left. We'd go out to lunch. We talk. He still would text me after wins. He cares about the University of Mary and Marauders women's basketball. And, he cares about our friendship. So when it was pretty evident that Eden was going to be a college basketball player, Dom, I'm not going to lie. I was conflicted because, friendship is important to me. And you just never know. Like I knew Eden was going to be a good player, but you just never know how that dynamic's going to go. But from day one, Fred and Lisa were in our corner. The decision was Eden's, but I could see where she would want to, make her own name somewhere else. And I was probably okay with that. But then Dom, the best part about it is we're competitive, right? So when I got wind that other NSIC schools were starting to sniff around, I was kind of like, yeah, forget that. Winning over friendship's a lot better, right? We can reconcile that. So we put the full court press on her, and then fortunately she made the decision to come out here, and I think we locked ourselves into a 4-year starting point guard. I mean, she's been as good as anybody in our league. I wish we had an all-freshman team instead of just giving out one award to a freshman of the year because Eden would have been on that team. She's just been so great on the defensive end and just been a joy to get to know on a different side of things. And Fred is just a dad now, and that's great. He's supportive of what we're doing. He supports his daughter. And then every now and then he'll throw in a little text about like, oh boy, I sure hope we do this right, this game or something, right? So knowing Fred, it's great. It's great to see him around again. Yep.
Now, I know you want to keep winning, but also the other tradition is I see you at the state, A or AA, and you are going to be dad next week.
Yes, yes. So my daughter is a sophomore at Bismarck High, and they've got the WDA, and then hopefully, if things go well, their trip to the state tournament. So I've learned a lot this year. She's playing varsity basketball for them, and it's awesome. But I've learned a lot about the other side of it. You
Yeah.
always think, like, when I'm a coach, I'm like, guys, I don't care what happens, who plays, we're going to win a basketball game. That's my job. Here we go. And at the college level, it is more about that,
No
honestly, than
doubt.
the high school
Yep.
level. We know that, right? Like, wins and losses matter for whether you keep your job at college. If you can teach social studies at high school and you can still coach basketball and maybe drive the bus, you're going to have a job forever, right? But
That's exactly right.
so there is a little different level to that. But now you sit in the stands as a varsity dad for the first time, and you start to understand your own parents of the players that you're coaching, right? Because I want Bismarck High to win every game they play, but I get nervous when my daughter goes in. I want her to play well. I want her to have an opportunity to play. So I think I'm getting a better understanding for how that side works of it, and I try to do the best job I can at home to just be a dad too and support Bismarck High and their coaches, because their coach is a UMary alum. His wife played for us, for Fred and I, and they're friends of ours. Our two sons are on the same travel basketball team. So, and then knowing Coach Shetler as recruiting his athletes,
Yes.
I'm trying to walk. Yeah, I'm trying to walk that fine line of, normally in a gym I just go up and talk to him right away. Well, now I go up to a gym and I talk to him like, well, I hope my daughter thinks that's okay, or I hope X, Y, Z parents in the crowd aren't thinking, oh, yeah, there's Coach Neumann sucking up to Coach Shetler, right? Like, it's just a different dynamic,
Yeah.
but it's made for a very interesting but yet exciting winter.
Last thing for you, since it's Feel Good Friday here, I have to ask, as the Marvel nerd that you are, you already saw the new Captain America movie. Is it worth me going to see?
Yeah, I think so. Like, my son and I went. It was just a nice 2 hour enjoyment. Again, I think they tried a little too hard at some times. They found a way to, and for me, right, wrong, or indifferent, there's only one Captain America, right? But I thought the acting was good and it was fun and a good little storyline. I think it was a refresher from some of the stuff you and I have admittedly not liked here lately. So I'm going to give them some hope that they can resurrect that once proud franchise.
Oh, it's they've had a few misses here lately. It's great to see you, bud. I know. Get back to practice here. I don't want to hold up anything. And safe travels.
All right.
We'll talk soon. Okay.
Yes, I appreciate you and your coverage out here. As you know, Fargo-Moorhead's a big metro area for us to recruit. So anytime we can talk about our team on your program, we love it. So thanks to you for all you do for the state of North Dakota and our athletes.
Thanks, bud. Good to see you, man. There he goes. Rick Neumann, head coach, UMary women's basketball. They've got Mankato coming up on Sunday as part of a huge weekend at the Pentagon. 4 games on Saturday, 4 games on Sunday, semifinals on Monday, the championship on Tuesday. The Dragon women you saw will play tomorrow. The Dragon men play on, Sunday night to wrap up the quarterfinals. We got to take our final break. We come back, we'll wrap things up and get you ready for a busy sports weekend. Hot Mike will wrap right after this on WDAY Extra. KNBN in Rapid City, KSFL in Sioux Falls at Inforum.com.